In the last video, I talked about my pro-black to pro-me journey and all of the stages I went through to get to being pro-me. This video is about the emotions felt at each stage of my pro-black to pro-me journey. When I became pro-black only, around 2015, I started off with optimism, and I was very hopeful about the future. I believed that Black people could build a better society for themselves, and I was very excited to begin building that society with my community. The next stage was pro-Black women, Black children, and progressive Black men only. This was around 2016. When I entered this stage, I was still very optimistic about the future of the Black community, and I only felt as though I had dropped dead weight by dropping the men who I had seen as being pro-Black male only. The next stage was pro-Black women and Black children only. This was around 2018. At the beginning of this stage, I felt hurt and betrayed by Black men. I was also confused because I didn't move the way that Black men did. I wasn't disrespectful to them the way that they were disrespectful to Black women. I didn't understand degrading your own features. I didn't understand not wanting to build your community up. And I didn't understand not wanting to uplift the people you shared a race with. I especially didn't understand this behavior coming from men who society taught me were supposed to be protectors of women and leaders. It was very hard to understand why Black men were the way they were. After the hurt and confusion, I became angry. I was angry because I felt like I had been played. I was angry because I was being disrespected. And I was angry because I realized that this group of men who I had respect for, who I cared about, who I shared a race with, actually looked down on me and other Black women. Anger is fine and normal, and it is okay to be angry for a little while, but Black women should not stay stuck there. Any Black woman that stays stuck in anger will really limit their own growth and block their potential by doing so. After accepting the situation for what it was and then moving on, all I felt towards Black men was disgust, and I just simply no longer cared about them. I basically just found them to be pathetic overall, and I had no respect for them. After coming to terms with how I felt about Black men, I once again felt optimistic and excited about the future I would be creating with Black women for ourselves and for Black children. The next stage was pro-Black women and Black girls only. This was around 2019. When I became pro-Black women and Black girls only, I was not sad about dropping the boys. It was just something that felt necessary. I saw through their actions and behavior towards their Black girl peers that they would end up just like the adult men and knew there was no correcting them. The next stage was pro-Black girls and like-minded Black women only. This was around 2020. When I became pro-Black girls and pro-like-minded Black women only, I was very hurt knowing that if it came down to it, most Black women would choose to support a degenerate Black man over me and other Black women. It just made me sad overall. Finding out about Black men hurt, but having to get to this stage really, really hurt. I just expected so much more from Black women, so them choosing to continue pedestalizing a group of men that very clearly did not care about them was just really disappointing. After adjusting my expectations, I was still optimistic. I was optimistic about connecting and building with the minority of like-minded women for ourselves and for Black girls. The next stage is pro-myself and Black girls. This was around 2021. This stage was very depressing. I felt very lonely and I was just very confused. It made no sense to me why I could barely find one Black woman who matched my mentality. As far as Black girls go, I just wanted a better world for them. I felt like as long as Black girls are here, then I'll be here for them. The last stage is pro-me. This was either around 2022 or 2023. The beginning of this stage was more of the same depression, loneliness, and confusion. I don't really remember how I felt when I first had the thought of maybe black girls couldn't be guided. It was just the logical next thought process. If there were no adult black women who shared my mentality, then realistically and logically, what made me think there were any future like-minded black girls to look out for? Eventually, I got to a point where I figured out how to be okay with being the only one with my mentality in this world. That is where I'm at right now. I'm currently still not even sure how many other black women with my mentality exist, if any, but time will tell. I am in a much better place and very excited about what my future holds, whether I am on my own or not.